Hello SGD, and I'd like to thank a viewer from in the Nordic countries for sharing this. And he brought up an interesting thing, so the Neolithic battle axes up in the Nordic countries, Scandinavia, I call it maybe now, you have the stone battle axes and then the introduction of the Bronze Age. So these go back to 3000 BC or older, very, very old. Now, of course, the hard stones such as granite, Neolithic granite axes, North American indigenous people were making them as well, working with stone, without advanced technology to drill the holes and that type of thing. But it's the one on the bottom that's of most interest, and we'll look at other examples because it's an example which is defined as a boat-shaped axe. Here you see an example, especially from this angle, it looks like a kayak almost. Here's a nice one where you see how these axes, and there is a distinction amongst those writing about this, that the axes that were used day to day as tools and battle axes, which have very little wear and will seem to be mainly used in battle. But you can see how this one's been worn down, broken down in time, and they've sort of kept it going but then re-drilled a hole. Here's a nice smoother example of this boat-shaped axe. Another nice one as well. And I'm getting to here's one from the side angle, maybe suggesting something else. Also, again, you'll find them so many places around the world, but here in Gotland in Sweden, where you see these groove marks where they've used the stone and then polished these axes. I'll put some links in the descriptions to some people who made reconstructions of making these as well. Here's a really nice one, because it also has this bit hanging there underneath to maybe give a little bit more weight to the front of the axe, so give it that more skull cracking power. A little bit of detail, but as with some earlier ones, notice that there's this seam running along the top. Okay, I'll put also a link in the description, stone battle axe of Neolithic Europe, and how these gave birth to like the Thor's hammer, which is sort of made popular with the Marvel movies and the cartoons. But then we come to even nicer examples, and again it's this seam running along there. Now these nicer looking ones seem to have come later, which is into the Bronze Age. So bronze was well established, even like moved up into Europe and was moving into Northern Europe, and that these axes seem to have, like the influence of these axes was changed by the design of bronze axes. And so whether this seam of two minds, so the boat-shaped axe, were they referencing the keel of the ship, or were they copying the casting, so when you make the mould for the some styles of those Bronze Age copper axes, there'll be a little line in between where the two bits of mould go together, depending on what type of cast you make. So these stone craftsmen, just with bone, wood and stone, were making these beautiful pieces. We'll see some photos of those. And then we come to this one, which I think is the viewer shared with me, probably the nicest example, the Fiskum Axe. Now, this one's a modern replica, that's the original, and you can see it's a really nice boat shape there, made of basalt. And it's here that you can start to get a better idea, so 18.6 centimetres, and where we see again that line running down the base of it. So is that a showing off the skills, like we've got stone but we're repeating the copper details, or because it's a boat axe, were they repeating the keel of the boat? I don't know if it was referred to as a boat axe in the past, but that's maybe some more modern archaeological term. There are some papers on there, but they're all in Swedish and other languages, so it would be a bit of reading and translation to do to get to it, but just wanted to share the nice stonework that's done here. And so this is on the cusp of two ages, the Neolithic into the Bronze Age, and then we do come into the Bronze Age as well. And
Redbeard, do you think if I finish chipping this flint by a time when sun is hottest, you could get it tied to a stick by a time when we all get hungry?
I don't think so, Big Feet. You're forgetting. Today we've all got to go to clearing where we go sometimes, from time when cricket shut up until time when we go back to our huts.
Really? What for?
It's Bronze Orientation Day.
Oh, bugger. I'm so sick of hearing about bronze. Bronze, 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 bronze. What's wrong with stone? Does stone not work all of a sudden?
Well, they say that bronze will revolutionise the way we hunt and gather.
Well, maybe, but I can't be doing with it. Horrid, shiny stuff. Ugh.
Guys, this is Hairyback from Tribe in the Valley who have lots of jewellery all of a sudden. He'll be leading our Bronze Orientation Day. Hairyback, this is Big Feet and Redbeard, our foremost chipper and tire.
Oh, great. Well, you're exactly the kind of people I need to get through to. And my message for you is this. Don't be afraid of bronze. Really. Unless, of course, someone is attacking you with a bronze axe, in which case you should be afraid, because bronze is brilliant. Meet bronze. Bronze is your friend. Bronze is user-friendly, multi-purpose, exciting, zeitgeisty, and most importantly of all, it's slightly shiny. Every day we're finding new uses for bronze. Bronze plates, bronze cup, bronze hats, bronze shoes, even bronze windows. And bronze doesn't even need to be chipped. So, stone is dead, prepare for the age of bronze. Thank you. Yes, you have a question.
Yeah. When you say bronze doesn't need to be chipped, right, my question is, doesn't it?
No. With new modern smelting, old-fashioned chipping is a thing of the past.
Right, because I'm a chipper, you see.
Right, well, I won't lie to you. Chippers, as a breed, are going to go the way of the saber-toothed tiger. Ah! No, I mean they're going to be extinct. But have you thought about retraining as a smelter?
No, I haven't. I mean, smelting may be fine for the lads, but I'm no smelter. And while bronze may be terribly clever, stone was all my old dad ever needed to feed a family of as many hands as I have and then more than that. I just say, as a tribe, why don't we leave the bronze to the smart Alex and the whiz kids, and we'll just carry on using stone axes like we always do?
Because if you do, the tribes with the bronze axes will kill you, and then take your stone axes, and then throw them away because they're rubbish.
Oh.
Yes?
Will the bronze still need tying to sticks?
Oh, yes.
Cracking.
This is on the cusp of two ages, the Neolithic into the Bronze Age, and then we do come into the Bronze Age as well. And I look into this a little bit, but notice that they're all hollow, and well, it turns out. So here's an example of one of those hollow pieces, and we have this little. Oh, geez, what would you call that little, half circle? But I was curious as to what that was. But also these casting lines as well to make it a little bit prettier. So was that one of the features with details such as this and details such as that? Because the other Neolithic axes just tend to be very practical and without any sort of serious ornamentation. But what is this little ring, half ring coming off? Well, it's an attachment point, so that's hollow, and then you would attach it to the end of the wood there, slide it in, and that seems to be the understanding of what that is, to help the bronze attach to the end of the stick. Ötzi, the Iceman, the famous from 5,000-year-old frozen, but amongst his tools there was a copper axe, and that's a more simple style, and tying things onto sticks, even into the Iron Age this remained. So making stone axes, flint knapping sort of went the way of the dodo, but still tying things onto sticks remained even into the Iron Age. And then we have some bronze examples. Now this axe I believe is a steel one, but just to show the different type of attachment, just like with those earlier stone axes, drill a hole through, ram in a wooden handle, wedge it in, and it's nice and firm. And so that's what I wanted to share, especially with Fiskum Axe. And just as an example, like, this is a work of sculpture, in a way, and it's got these nice, the added little details that they go to. It wasn't just the hole drilled through, they kept that lip there at the top. They could have as easily just ground the whole thing over, but they went to these extra details to do a bit of work. Stone Age people made, the hints in the name, they worked in stone and they knew a thing or two. And then, of course, this skill then gets transferred over as a development of civilization, and you start working bigger stones, but flint napping, basalt, granite, the skills are all basically there. So SGD, just a quick share with that one, and just a difference with a Neolithic, these beautiful pieces of stoneworking. And with that, have a good